DK Metcalf, who wants out of Seattle. He's been given permission to seek a trade out of Seattle.
Unnecessary. They just traded for Debo.
Right.
I'd be all in. Depends on what you want to give up.
I'll take him.
It depends on the compensation.
I'll take him.
Now, the problem is you're going to have to extend him and give him a fat deal where he's making probably,
He deserves it.
I don't know, $28 or $30 million per year. You ready to pay him that sort of money?
Sure.
Then you would be
He's good.
paying, because Terry is doing
Terry's
an
going to
extension.
get a new deal.
You got to get him extended. Then you'd be extending DK Metcalf. You'd have two $30 million
This
plus
is the
wideouts.
problems that all good teams have.
Right.
So, deal with it. This is what happens if you become good.
Yeah.
You're going to have, salary issues.
Yeah.
Trying to figure it out. But, it's a pencil game. You figure it out.
On a slight side note, with some of the other Commanders' wideout personnel, this is a nugget I got from Matthew Berry, who does fantasy sports for NBC Sports.
Sure.
He's been in the fantasy game
I
forever.
feel like he's a Commanders fan. Too, right?
He is a Commanders fan.
Yeah, something weird.
So he did a column on NBC Sports where he does like 25 things I heard at the Combine.
Mm-hmm.
And one was talking about how weak the free agency class is for wideouts. And at the end of this little blurb, he says, don't be shocked when Darius Slayton from the Giants signs for what will seem like a ridiculous amount given his career production to date. Same for De'Ami Brown.
Mm-hmm.
So these pipe dreams, I think, of people that like De'Ami Brown and want to bring him back for, hey, maybe we can sign him for 3 years, $15 million. I don't think that's going to be the case.
There might be a
His
flurry.
market's going to be way bigger.
Yeah. There might be a flurry of activity from Adam Peters here in the next couple of days.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't hold my breath on De'Ami Brown coming back because he knows he's going to get other offers.
Mhm.
And you're seeing other teams make moves, right? We've seen the Eagles extend Saquon Barkley. And then yesterday, Zach Bond, who we talked about, that would be a great player for the Commanders to poach.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're not going to get their crack at him. So other teams are extending players. They're making moves.
Right.
Joey Bosa gets released. To me, DK Metcalf, sure, great luxury if you're able to add him. But I feel like, given the fact they don't have a 4th-round pick, given the fact they don't have a 5th-round pick, you're going to have to get rid of picks to get him.
He's better than those picks.
I understand that. So you're going to get rid of a 1st or 2nd?
I don't think a first. I don't think he'd go for a first.
I'm actually a little bit intrigued by that first name that I mentioned. Like, if you're not looking to break the bank and add another wideout,
Slayton.
Darius Slayton is a guy who can get deep. He's kind of shifty, like with Debo working underneath, and you pair up Terry with Darius Slayton on the outside, could have something there. Now,
and I think your boy Christian Kirk was released.
Christian Kirk, I don't know if he's been officially released, but I know that they're talking about releasing
And that's
him.
somebody who played under
That's
with
another
Kingsbury
possibility.
in Arizona.
And frankly, we talked about it. I mean, Bosa's. I would see what the market is for him. He can't hurt you.
Right.
He can't hurt you.
800-636-1067. It is
We
open
need
line
help
Thursday.
everywhere.
So you're in on DK. At what cost?
I'm not saying they're going to get him. I'm saying if they got him, I'd be thrilled.
I wouldn't give up
as
a
a fan.
first. I wouldn't give up a first for him, but
Would you give up a 2nd?
maybe a 2nd.
They have it. They've shown. That
I mean, you're going to draft somebody better at wide receiver in the 2nd round than DK right now?
No, they've shown that they're very frugal and they make like sort of wise decisions with their compensation for the most part. So I just trust whatever they could pull if they actually executed it.
Cody Benjamin from CBS Sports had a list of one free agent that each team cannot afford to lose.
Okay.
And that free agent for Washington was De'Ami Brown.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they said.
It wasn't my guy, Dante Fowler?
Did he write that before the Debo deal?
Yeah. No, he wrote it after the Debo deal. Yeah.
Well, I know talking to some guys that cover the team, they said they know they want De'Ami back, but they don't expect him back because of exactly what we said.
Yeah,
it's just the market's going to be
the
big.
The weird thing is, there might be a bidding war for De'Ami Brown. I never thought I'd say those words ever, but apparently that's the case.
I had a weird, this is like almost like a dream. It was like, I was thinking about this as I was going to sleep. So you can make fun of me if you want, but this is related to our conversation a little bit. Do you think if we had Saquon Barkley instead of the Eagles, right? Do you think that this season plays out totally different?
Are you basically saying would the Commanders have won the Super Bowl?
And he has
with Barkley?
Yes.
And he has the same type of year?
Yeah, probably.
I mean,
why didn't we go after him?
I guess they just didn't feel like it was
No
prudent
idea.
to
It's
pay
funny,
a running
we haven't
back
talked
that
about. I
much.
don't think we've kind of talked about it from that perspective all year. But I was just laying in bed going, man, he was such a difference maker for them, and he had such a bomb season.
Yep.
And our running back room is so sort of weird. Why don't we just get him and lock him up?
They weren't
could've
ready
been
to
a
take that big
completely
swing.
You're right.
They didn't take any big swings. Everything last year was, I mean, Luvu was a nice addition via free agency. Everybody else was kind of a veteran,
In the running back
short-term
room,
deal.
Peters went for a single with Austin Eckler.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't go for the home run with Saquon. He just wasn't ready to pull the trigger.
I was thinking about Hard Knocks and thinking about how those guys went through that decision and just how awful it ended up playing out for them.
Yeah.
Why didn't we go after him? Then I started thinking, why didn't we go after him?
By the way, if you put DK and Debo into the locker room,
Yeah.
I feel like there'd be a lot of fireworks.
Well, I mean, I think Dan Quinn would have a lid, put a lid on that. Like it sounds like
think
he's
he'd be
got
able to
really good
control
control of the locker room.
Now, kind of going back to yesterday's conversation, if you have to give me one of them, I'd rather have DK than Devontae.
Just because he's a little bit younger. Yeah, I guess.
Although Devontae is a free agent now.
Right.
Correct.
You can sign with anybody.
And DK's got 1 year left on his deal, I believe.
So that's why won't get, first round pick
Right,
yeah.
unless he agrees to a deal.
I mean, Debo went for a 5th round pick with 1 year left on his
Unbelievable.
deal.
What a steal.
So there's
What a
no way
steal.
DK is going for a 1st or
No,
2nd. He's
he-
probably going
like
for
3rd
something
or
simple.
4th.
Yeah, probably.
Probably
For
a
a
fourth.
third, we don't even have a third, but if we did, I mean, of course you're doing that.
You don't want DK giving Debo diet advice either.
No.
Does DK just eat candy?
He eats like a lot of gummy
but isn't
bears
he
and
ripped?
Oh, he's
Oh,
so
yeah.
ripped.
I think he only eats like one meal.
Yeah.
He's
out
got
that-
some wacky
Turns
diet.
out his
never do
meal
that
is
one.
Sour Patch Kids with peanut M&Ms.
I could never
Sounds
do
delicious.
that one.
But
Draft-
He eats one proper meal a day, drinks coffee, and consumes 3 to 4 bags of candy, with gummy candies like Lifesavers and Skittles being his favorite.
Trav,
He's going to go to the dentist more than you if he keeps doing that.
that'd be hard to do, but
It's
maybe.
brutal.
Trav, you're the diehard Seahawks fan here. I know we talked about it a little bit yesterday. You thought it was kind of unlikely, and now it seems like, I don't know, maybe something will happen. I don't know. The only reason I saw is that he just wants to be on a more competitive team. Is that it? That's all.
No, he wants an extension.
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
what he
wants an
wants. He wants-
extension.
yes, I mean, Seahawks won 10 games last year.
Yeah.
They're a competitive team. They're more than competitive.
So what's?
Yeah.
It's weird.
He wants an extension. That's all it is.
Right.
So if the Seahawks, and they're probably not going great negotiations, so he's going to request a trade, and unless they give him what he wants, and that's fine. I think he goes much higher than a 3rd round pick. I mean, there was a rumor last week that the Packers offered a 1st rounder for him. Now, I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but I mean, he's not going to come to the Commanders. I hate to burst anyone's bubble. He's not going to be.
I'm not
because-
expecting
second.
him
He's
to.
not going to play
because-
second fiddle to anybody, and he wants to be a number 1 receiver on a good team. I mean, it's already. I mean, he scored 48 touchdowns in his career. He's only 27 years old. He's
Right.
a touchdown machine.
Here's what I know.
He's going to want.
If
Yeah,
he
but he doesn't have to
leaves-
play second fiddle. Just be you.
But you can't pay $75 million to your 3 receivers. You
It's
just
tough.
can't. You just can't do that.
It's tough to do.
I don't care if you have cat.
If DK leaves Seattle, JSN's numbers to the moon in 2025. Like he's going to catch
He'll be the only
120
guy.
balls.
Because Lockett's gone, right?
Lockett's gone. DK would be gone. Now they would have to obviously bring in some other help around him, but JSN would be the focal point of the passing game.
I mean, it's a lot of money to give those guys. It's
Yeah.
true.
I'll give a little plug to my daughter, the Hungry Foodie on TikTok.
Yeah.
She has a video with over 200,000 views eating like DK Metcalf for a day.
Oh, really? Just candy? It's a candy palooza?
Yeah, the coffee,
Okay, good.
candy,
Love it.
and that's pretty much it.
Sounds like
That's what he eats in his
sounds like a
one
good
meal a day.
That sounds fantastic.
I think I eat the same stuff. How come I don't look like that?
Yeah, how come I don't have a 12-pack like DK Metcalf? Oh, I know. Genetics is a big part of
That's
it.
A big part of
That's
it.
a huge
But I'm
component.
guessing he works out a little bit more than you
the
too.
workouts too, yeah. Genetics plus lack of workouts is the reason I look like this and DK Metcalf looks the way he does.